Hey everyone, it's Patty. I am from Elpitha, Transformational Healing. So I'm guessing most of you know what the word Elpitha means. Elpitha is the Greek word for hope, and that's why I named my business Elpitha, because I like to think that I can give people hope and help people to feel like there is hope in this world, whether it's hope to feel better, hope to be better, hope that things will get better, hope that when things are tough, that we can actually move forward and get great results and feel our best. So what is Elpitha healing? So I've been basically a healer most of my life. I think it took me a long time to say the words, but as a kid I used to massage everybody's shoulders at every single family birthday. When I was 19, 20, I did a massage course and learned how to do it properly and started learning about aromatherapy. I've learned so many other techniques since and have been the perpetual patient for getting all sorts of different natural therapies done. I've seen naturopaths, I've seen kinesiologists, I've seen chiropractors, I've done so many different things, and I've done lots of courses over the years. I did an EFT tapping course, which I can tell you about a little bit later. So that's where you tap on the meridians to help with releasing fears and traumas and all sorts of different things. I've done TMJ, jaw work. I've learned about homeopathics. I've learned about Bach flower remedies, which is what makes up rescue remedy, if you've heard of rescue remedy for stress and anxiety. I've done a course in Reiki, and more recently I've done an integrated kinesiology course, which is a phenomenal modality that actually merges everything I've ever learned into one really powerful healing modality. And I'm learning every single day different ways that I can enhance our life and help people. So my ultimate goal is to help people. So I want to help people feel better and deal with releasing past fears and traumas and helping people just live a happy life. I've been through my own sets of problems in my life, traumas, and dealt with my own anxieties and so many things in my life. But with every remedy and every modality that I've tried, and with every practitioner that I've seen, I've gotten better and better in myself, for myself, and I just want to pass that on. I want to actually help other people feel better too. So what do I do? So for those of you that don't know anything about energy healing, so we are basically energetic beings, and I won't get into the details of that now, but look it up, or contact me privately. You may have heard of things like Reiki, where people use symbols and energy healing from our hands to help with balancing the body. There's other forms of energy healing as well, and what I love about it is that it's gentle, it's safe for anyone. I've done it with children, I've done it with adults, I've done it with unborn babies. My kids grew up having all sorts of different remedies and treatments done on them. We've used essential oils since they were little babies. We've used rescue remedy for most of their life to help with nerves at school and things like that. So all of that is energetic medicine. Once you learn about Bach flower remedies and rescue remedy, there's nothing tangible in there that will actually heal you. It's actually the energy of the flowers that helps with balancing the body. So I'd love to chat with you more about that. But with kinesiology, what kinesiology is scientific based healing modality that helps using muscle testing. So there's lots of different ways to muscle test. When you're on the table, your arm will be up like this, and I'll be muscle testing from a muscle in your body. You may have seen people do muscle testing where you hold someone's arm out, and the way that it would work is you, depending on the type of modality that you've learned or been taught, is that the muscle will hold strong for a yes or a no. So for some practitioners, it identifies a weakness in the muscle, and it's a biofeedback system. So it's like an energy circuit. So if you've ever seen those little science experiments where people are holding hands and then they're holding like a little light up ball, and when the last person holds hands, the energy circuit is connected and it actually lights up the ball. So that's a whole other story. But so the way that it can work is, so with the muscle testing, and again, muscle testing is done by different practitioners in different ways. So the intention is set that the muscle will hold strong for a yes, and then let go for a no. And so if I asked you a question and I said, what is your name? And you said, my name is Patty, and my name is Patty. So it would hold strong. No matter how much I push down on that muscle, it's now, obviously I'm biased because I'm doing it on myself, but there are ways around it. So if I said my name is Patty, the answer is yes, and that weakness is not there, so it's strong. If I said my name is Mary, it would actually drop. And so that is one way of doing muscle testing. Now that sounds weird, but what we do in that case is then we can ask the body questions that you think consciously you would know the answer to, but your body doesn't lie. So the way that I've been taught muscle testing is actually a little bit different to that. So we actually set an intention that the muscle will let go on a yes. So when we're on the table, I'll actually be asking yes, no questions, and it'll be like, my name is Patty, yes. My name is Mary, no. And so it's actually an opposite. It's just a different way of doing it. Ultimately, when you set an intention and you ask the questions and you test it yes or no, you'll get an answer. So the way that it'll work is we'll go through, after filling in a form, about your health, about your physical health, your mental health, about your family history, that sort of thing. We'll go and we'll get you onto my massage table here. Lights will be on, you'll be fully dressed, nothing to worry about, no nudity here, unless of course you want to book in for a massage, that's another story. And so what will happen is we'll go through a protocol. So I'll actually be going through a specific protocol, and every time you come in, it'll be the same protocol, but with very different results each time, because we'll be tapping into different onion layers of your history and of your emotions. And so the way that it'll work is that I'll be asking you some questions to say out loud. You'll be saying some statements out loud, and then I'll be tapping in and muscle testing from a list of emotions. So for example, I have a list of emotions, and in a typical grid form, like rows and columns, I'll actually say, what is the emotion that's holding you back right now? And so I'll look at the emotional chart and it'll bring up an emotion. So that emotion might be sadness. So I'll say, okay, well, what does sadness mean to you? And you might say, oh, it means this, it means that. And then I might say, well, why is that coming up for you? Well, where are you experiencing sadness in your life right now? And so you might sort of think of a time, in your current life where you're feeling sadness. Then we can actually tap in a bit deeper. We can either, depending on which stage of the healing we're at, we can either actually send energy healing, so through my hand, send energy healing to that part of your body that you're storing this trauma. So it'll be like, what is the emotion? Where in your body are you storing it? So it could be, you may have heard of the 7 chakras of the body. So you've got your crown chakra, your third eye, your throat chakra, your heart chakra, your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, and your root chakra. For those of you that don't know about chakras, please reach out. I'm happy to chat to you, or have a look on my page. You'll see some information about them there. So they're the different energy centers of the body. Now each of those energy centers hold not only emotional trauma and emotional energy, they actually hold physical energy too. So for example, the throat chakra, metaphysically, it's about communication and feeling heard. But then on a physical level, you've got neck pain, jaw pain, teeth, ears, all sorts of different issues around here, thyroid, upper chest problems. And so by balancing the energy in the throat chakra, we can actually help your body to function better as well as feel better. So often when we're healing the throat chakra, you might get some coughing or yawning, or some people have actually nearly thrown up on my massage table just from that clearing of the energy. And so any sort of noise that comes out is always a good sign. Usually I'm yawning during the process because the yawning is actually a shifting of energy. And so we'd be, if the emotion came up that it was your throat chakra, I'd be sending healing energy to your throat for a couple of minutes, and we'd be clearing that energy until it's more balanced. Another thing we can do at a different part of the healing session is we'll actually identify when in your life was the priority age that this emotion was first an issue for you. So for example, if it was sadness or resentment or whatever, it might be that we go, okay, how old are you now? Okay, I'm 44. All right, so I wish I was 44. Yeah, 44. Okay, so I'm going to count down from 44 down to your birth and even before your birth. And I'm going to actually work out when in your life this feeling of whatever happened and was an issue for you. So we go, okay, 44 to 40, 40 to 30, 30 to 20, 20 to 10, 10 to 0. Okay, 10 to 0. We've got a yes, 10 to 0. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, we got a yes at 6. And I'd say, what happened when you were 6? And you might go, I don't know. I don't remember. And I'll say, okay, well, you don't have to remember exactly what happened when you were 6, but just try to picture yourself at 6. Can you remember what your school photo looked like? Do you remember what house you were living in? Where are you in the pecking order of your family? Were you the youngest? Were you the oldest? Were your parents working? Was there a trip? Was there a drama? Was there a wedding? Was there a family death? What happened when you were 6? Just try to think back to that year. Sometimes we get nothing. Sometimes, whether it's just a memory or like a memory block, whether it's actually a trauma that's been buried for whatever reason, sometimes people don't remember. But let's just picture you at 6. And so then we actually can tap into that feeling. For some people, a whole lot of stuff comes up, and it's actually like, you know, tears and all the feels. And so it could be that, you know, oh, when I was 6, this happened, and my parents were fighting, and I nearly got a divorce, and I had to go live with my yaya, and whatever. Okay, so whatever happened when you were 6, then we can actually lift up those emotions, because if you don't know that it's there, you don't know, you can't heal it. So without awareness, you can't heal. So sometimes even just identifying what the emotion was, even if you walked out at that point, just identifying an emotion and maybe an age, it can actually be enough to just sort of trigger a bit of healing, because once you know it's there, you can actually address it or revisit it and help yourself. So at that point, we might actually say, okay, so little 6-year-old you, what happened? How did you feel? How do you think that made you feel? We could actually book in to do some inner child work to help heal that 6-year-old you. That's another thing that we can do. Or in the moment, we can say, okay, well, where in your body are you holding that little 6-year-old girl or boy's emotions? Where are you holding it? Okay, so we'll muscle test and check where in your body are you holding that. It might be in your root chakra, which is right down the bottom of your spine. And the root chakra is all about those first foundational memories and that first foundational seeds that were planted in you to be who you are. And often we store trauma in our root chakra that was related to whatever. And so then what we can do is send healing to the root chakra. We can help you with a grounding technique, and we can even give you some homework if that's what you need, and help to heal the root chakra. And then we move on and we find another emotional block, and we might come up with a fear or a belief, or a maybe there's an affirmation that you need to say. Whatever it is, we can actually identify it through this muscle testing process. So asking your body, what do you need? What do you need? What next? And what else? And so at the end of the healing, what's happened is you've actually peeled off a few onion layers. You've identified some emotions that are holding you back today. It might be that the way you feel at work today, or in your relationship today, or dealing with family member today, actually could be because of something that happened to you when you were 12 or when you were 3, or maybe even at conception. There's a whole world of thinking about things that happened to us when we were conceived or in our mother's womb is still significant. So the healings can actually be very calm and peaceful. Sometimes they can be emotional. It just depends on what you're like, where you're willing to go, how deep you're willing to go, and ultimately at the end, people always feel better. Sometimes healing can be a little bit like picking that scab, where you maybe feel worse, a little bit worse before you feel better, but over the next few days, there's a lot of processing. You've got to drink lots of water, help yourself. You'll probably have some homework from me, either reading out an affirmation to yourself every day, or maybe using some essential oils or a remedy that I send home with you. And and I'll be in touch, and we'll keep in contact. And if you need me, I'm right here. Give me a call or text me, and then usually what happens is people, once they actually recover from that healing, then it's time to come back and either address it at a deeper level, or say, I'm fine with that now, and address the next issue on the list. So it can be a beautiful, relaxing experience. It can also be like some serious work if you're willing to do the work. So the difference between the types of sessions that I book, so a kinesiology session is what I described then. So it's kind of a combination of all the different modalities. So you've got the muscle testing that identifies the emotion, you've got sending energy healing, you've got finding a remedy, so it'll actually identify what sort of remedy out of all the wealth of remedies that I've got here that do you need. And so it's all like encompassing all together. A lot of other people come in and they'll book in a Reiki session. So the Reiki session is just laying quietly on the bed, music will be playing, there'll be energy healing done on each of your chakras, not a lot of talking, and you'll just have a relaxing hour or so. It takes 45 minutes to an hour plus chatting before and after to have the healing. So the Reiki sessions are very different. So it's really just quiet time alone with you and your thoughts and me. So we can either have me not talking at all, or we can have me, what I find a lot of people like is actually gently talking through what happens at the different parts of the body. So what that chakra represents, how it can help you physically and emotionally and spiritually, and also to walk you through what's happening with the healing. Sometimes other things come up. Sometimes I intuitively will sense something, or a word might come to me, or a message might come to me. And so usually it's related to the part of the body that I'm working on. And so there's the kinesiology sessions, the Reiki session is that, and then other things people book in for is bark flower remedy assessments, where we actually sit down and have like a bit of a counselling session about what's going on for you, and we can identify what bark flower remedies you would need and how often you should take them. And they're basically like a little bottle made up in with a little bit of brandy. Basically, if you've tried Rescue Remedy, it's the same sort of thing, but it'll be customised to you. So for example, I used these on my kids when they were little, if they were having issues with transitioning into a new class at school, or dealing with change, or having anxiety, or sleep issues, or nightmares, or whatever it was. I was actually able to help the kids use these remedies to help them with that. Fear of dogs. My daughter was, I helped someone close to me with a very measurable, undeniable fear of dogs, and to the point that she couldn't leave the house for the fear of bumping into a dog. And after using a bark flower remedy for every day, within a week or two, she was not only not scared of dogs anymore, but starting to say, look at that cute dog, isn't that sweet? I wouldn't mind a dog when we get a dog. And I actually thought it was hilarious. Within 2 weeks, she was actually saying, when we get a dog, and we ended up getting a dog, and she's actually been the main carer of that dog after not being able to leave the house for fear of seeing a dog. So the bark flower remedies are very powerful, and I'm happy to share that story in more detail for anyone that's interested. What else? I have books here on health and healing and food and manifesting and all sorts of other things that I'm willing to loan out to you. So you can borrow these books at any time. All we'll do is take a photo of you holding the books so that I can chase you later, and you're welcome to borrow them. We've got books on crystals and all sorts of different remedies. We've got angel cards, we've got jewelry, we've got all sorts of different things. So have a think about it. Ask me a question, and I really would love to help you. Okay, so I'll hear from you soon. Elpitha, have hope.